Hey everybody, Dr. David Evans here. We're happy that watching everybody on our Pick TV Network Spotlight. We're so happy to have Victor Edward on today. He is a brother who has a life story that's going to touch you and bless you and inspire you and encourage you. He's from the DMV, and we're happy to have him on our Pick TV Spotlight. He also has a book out. Everybody who don't know Victor Edward, you will know him after you watch this show, part one of our Pick TV Spotlight. We met through in Clubhouse, so we had a good conversation. Doc put us together. Thank our family and friends and our partners watching with us on our platform through Roku, those who are watching from France, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, United Kingdom, Germany, Panama, Ireland, Peru, Chile, all over the world. Thank you for tuning in to our Pick TV network and our friends on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching this network. We welcome you. Hey Vic, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, Dr. David. Thank you for having me. I'm really honored and humbled to be here and to be a part of the broadcast. I count it an honor and a privilege anytime God gives me an opportunity to speak to people, not just the people of God, but any people. The word says that God is true and every man is a liar. So that means I'm a liar too. And if he says I'm giving you an opportunity to speak to people and represent me, even though you're a liar, I count that an honor because he doesn't have to.
I never heard it that way, man. I've been hearing the preacher word and reading that. And I didn't include that means me too.
Yeah, we're all liars. Yeah.
That's really something to think about. But Victor, let's get right into it, man. Tell us about yourself, your family, man, and growing up in DMV. Tell us what school you went to. Give us the history.
Okay. I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. My father was in the Army. I say from about the ages of 2 to 4, we lived in the District of Columbia, and back and forth between North Carolina as well. Then we moved to Germany until I was 5, and then from there we moved to the DMV, and I've been here ever since. I'm the youngest of 3. I have an older brother and an older sister. My sister's the oldest. My parents were married to close to 40 years. I am a husband to a beautiful wife. My wife sees as Hakiana, my baby. And I'm a father to 2 beautiful children. My wife and I have been married going on 10 years. It'll be 10 years October 1st. I went to elementary school in Fort Washington, Maryland, and Sea Pleasant, Maryland. I went to Sea Pleasant Elementary, and I went to Fort Washington Forest Elementary. Those that may be familiar with those schools in this area. I went to Gwynn Park Middle School, and I went to Oxon Hill High School for 3 years, and I transferred to Gwynn Park High School to finish playing football. I played college football at Duquesne University. I graduated from Duquesne University, and I've been working in education for over 10 years, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. I'm just so amazed, man, at your story, man. I got to go back, man, to Hawaii. You said you was born over in Hawaii, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what it looked like, but I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. One day I'll go back and actually go in the hospital that I was born in. But I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Wow, man, that's amazing, man. Talk a little bit about man, your parents a little bit. My parents are gone, man. I miss them, and they the greatest people on earth, man. My mother and my father, they're gone with the Lord. Talk about your parents.
Yeah, so I had good parents. They've been with me all my life. My core of attention to detail, excellence, follow through, execution, consideration of others, respect for others, I still call a lot of people ma'am and sir because of how I was raised, even though I'm a grown man now. Came from my parents. Um, my mom could have been a general if she was in the army or any other armed forces. Um, my mom was a stickler for doing things right. The first time my dad was too. I didn't really get to do a lot of the stuff in school where you get it wrong and you come to school and then you get to fix it together as a class. My homework was always done right the first time, and I just had to like live with that. I grew up in church for most of my life. When I became a teenager and I really started to get into sports more, I wasn't as it wasn't as I was still, my mother still made us go to church, but I wasn't as active as in church as I was when I was a kid. My parents are still in my life today. They're still alive, and they've supported me through my in telling my testimony and uh, writing my book. My grandmother, God rest her soul, Edna Vincent, she's no longer with us, was a mighty woman of God. She is the one that gave me the investment to write my book and to publish my book. I wouldn't have this book if it were not for her. So God bless her. So that's a bit about my parents. Like I said, my grandmother Edna Vincent. My grandparents, none of my grandparents are no longer with me. My dad's grandparents, my parents just passed away recently, and my grandparents, my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mother's side passed away as well.
Wow. Yeah, man. I know that feeling, man. To have people you love transition and party you go to. I know how
Yeah,
that is, uh, especially in the midst of COVID-19. Let's talk a little bit about Gwen Parkman. My son went to Gwen Park Middle School, Stephen Evans, and he came out in, what is this, 2021? He came out back in 2000, maybe and 10, 11. He came out. It might have been even before then, man, because he's 30 years old now, man. But he went to Gwen Park Middle School and then Gwen Park High School.
Okay. Let's see. When I was at Gwen Park Middle School, I was always on the honor roll. Making the honor roll was pretty easy for me. Get a couple A's and the rest B's, or get one A, one B, may get a C, or something that I may have not applied myself to as much as possible. When I really wanted to get something, I could get a 3.5, 3.7, something of that nature. I played basketball. Um, I really enjoyed basketball growing up, from about the ages of 11 to 13. But I began to play. I fell in love with football, and I always wanted to play football anyway. Organized football since I was a child. My parents just couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford to register me and my brother because how much it cost. I was bad at Gwen Park Middle School. I was in trouble a lot. I was very smart. It was important for me not to be considered bad and incompetent or unintelligent, but I got in trouble a lot. I was a bully to the bullies. It made me become more of a bully, which I'm not proud of. But it was all a cry for help. It was a defense mechanism of not feeling accepted or feeling that I was a part of what would be accepted. So the easiest way I felt I could get respect was to defend others that couldn't defend themselves, and definitely defend myself, or give off the projection that no one would bother me. And that was because in elementary school I was made fun of a lot because of my skin tone, too dark skin, eat oil, sweat chocolate, you rub your skin, smoke come out. I heard all those types of jokes. And I didn't have the freshest or flyest clothes because my parents couldn't afford designer clothes. They could afford a nice home in suburban Maryland, Washington, Maryland. But we couldn't afford Aeropostale and Ralph Lauren, Polo, Tommy Hilfiger, all the stuff that was popping back there. Jordans, Timberlands. My mother said, "You want Jordans groceries?" We said, "Jordans." She said, "Get out of my face before we get groceries." So I created a sub-identity or another identity in middle school. And when I got to high school, it mellowed out because I was just focused on football. And that was it. But middle school was tumultuous, if you will.
Yeah, amazing, man, because a lot of young people are still walking in your shoes and they need to hear this testimony that you're stating, especially being an African young man. Making good grades in school is so important. My son, Amos Evans, he was an A student from elementary school, from Apple Grove all the way to Oxon Hill High School, and went to Carnegie Mellon and just graduated from Carnegie Mellon. But I know how
That's
it is.
amazing. You know where I went? I went to school maybe 6 blocks away from where he went to school. I went to Duquesne University. Duquesne is up the street from my Carnegie Mellon.
Really? Pittsburgh?
Literally. Yeah, Pittsburgh, yep. 5th Avenue and Forbes Avenue, yep.
Yeah, I don't walk that street so many times, man. It's just named after me, man.
Yeah. I went to, so if you someone to Carnegie Mellon, I went to school down the street from University of Pitt. So being in Oakland, in the middle of that college area, a college town, there's a lot of colleges around in Point Park, Carnegie Mellon, Robert Morris is like 40 minutes away. What other universities are there?
You
There's
got
so many.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's a lot of
University of Pitt, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All around there, man, and it's a small world, man, and it's amazing to hear a young African American brother like you, man, saying you can pop up the grades, man, and that's very encouraging. Let's talk about your beautiful wife, man. Since we're talking about family, tell me about this beautiful bride you have.
Yes, she is. Excuse me. She is the first apple of my eye. She's gorgeous, beautiful long hair. It's all hers. I knew that I wanted to date her when I got out of college because I never really had a chance to be exclusive with her because I was a whore in college and I knew I couldn't date her because I would hurt her. So I made up in my mind when I got out of college I was going to date her, and I did. We've been friends as we have been married, and even as we were dating for a long time. We were friends for a while. We did everything together. We were in the world together. So we have a lot of understanding, a lot of jokes, a lot of reasoning because of our history before we got married. We've grown together. We've matured together. We've suffered together. We have walked through deliverance together. We've seen the mighty hand of God together. She is my homie. And matter of fact, let me do this since we're talking about my queen.
Yes, sir. It's yours. It's your bride.
This is her. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh man, put that.
This is my wife. Yep. Yep, that's my wife.
Good thing.
Yeah, and it'll be 10 years October 1st.
Oh man, that's beautiful, man. That is so awesome, man. I love to hear brothers brag on their queen, man. And you don't have to come to America to find one. She's already yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need to come to America. You already got yours. You know, so I'm just excited, man, to hear about your education, the way you gave homage to your family. What about your siblings, brother, your brothers and sisters? Let's talk about them.
Sure, yeah, my brother has been a confidant and a protector for me for quite some time. Uh, been in a lot of fights for me. Always tried to provide for me what I didn't have, what I couldn't do. He's always been the more level-headed one. Until I found Jesus, and even after I found Jesus, he still would give me input and impart into me just practical stuff because he's always been a lot calmer than me, a lot more even keel. He always said, "I need my peace," so he doesn't like to give up his peace. So, you know, my sister, she always understood me. She could translate what I was saying when nobody understood what I was saying. When I was angry and hostile or emotional, she would say, "He's saying this." She would always help me be able to calm down. Um, I used to compete with her in singing. My sister can sing. I can sing. I'm not gonna sing tonight. But I love my siblings. We are close, and they've been on my journey with me as I've written my book and as I begin to continue to tell my testimony. They've been on the journey with me as well. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome, man. Just coming off of Black History Month and to see how far you come, man, and about your family, your kids, man. I think that let's talk a little bit about your kids. Your kids.
I
Let's talk
figured you
about
would
your
ask me. Yes. The second apples of my eye are my precious babies. They are 5 and 4 years old. They are so innocent, so precious to me. They're what children should be. My children are getting to experience what I believe all children should be able to experience to enjoy and love life and grow and develop at a pace that allows them to feel safe and allows them to be happy and allows them to learn uh, and learn um, without burdens and without fear and without uh, constructs that take away their ability to make mistakes and to enjoy as many moments as they can. And I like that for my kids. Uh, my son is in kindergarten. My daughter will be in pre-K next year. My son can read pretty good. He can read his sight words pretty good. Words like at, it, me, we, they, here, that, this, not, words like that. He's in. He's pretty good at reading those words and defining those words, and even some words I didn't think he knew. He's pretty good at that. My daughter picks up on everything. She knows everything. She knows what's around her. She knows what it does, what it's not supposed to do. She'll tell you. She knows what a fire extinguisher is. She knows what a fire paper is. She knows what a fire truck is, moon, the Ferris wheel, the police officer, who's going to jail, who's not going to jail, like all of that. Like she's really, really bright. Yeah, so those are my kids. That's a little bit about my kids, and I'm excited about seeing them every day and watching them grow up.
Yeah, they grow up so fast, man.
Oh, they do. I remember when they were babies. It's just like little babies. Now my son can push my dumbbells across the floor. He can push my 25-pound dumbbells across the floor.
Yeah, man. I want to give you two gifts, man. I have two book bags I want to give you for the kids, man. I just have to send them to you. So two book bags, or you can pick them up at a store that we have them in that we own. So we'll look out for you. It's amazing, man, how God has shaped your world and your family and your career. Now, let's talk a little bit about giving back, man, with what you're doing in the educational arena in your career. What made you want to come and go back and give back to the community, or give back to your career into the educational arena?
Um, I was fresh out of college, and I majored in marketing. And my professors uh, I went to a predominantly white university, and my professors all worked in corporate America. One of them worked at Heinz Ketchup, one of them worked for General Motors, one of them worked for uh, the Philadelphia 76ers, one of them worked for Pittsburgh Pirates. One of them was another one that worked in a pretty significant corporation, but all of them uh, were very aware of the job market, and they continued to tell me and all of my classmates there aren't many jobs in this field, and you all are going to start. You have to take internships now because it's going to be difficult to rise up and land the type of career, or start in the entry level part of your careers that you all want to do. And they were right. So when I got home, I didn't have a job. So I called a relative of mine who was a principal at vice principal at a middle school, and I said I need a job. And I called one of my principal from middle school, and that's how it started. And my first day, I said to myself, everything that the adults in my life were to me, I'm going to be to them. And that's where it started.
Wow.
And I've been in education for over 10 years. I've been coaching football off and on during that time. I love football. I love coaching it. I love applying it to life and simplifying it to hard work, excellence, passion, consistency, attention to detail, follow through, all of those intangibles that you see in life. I apply them to the sport and coaching young men to be that and imparting that into them. And it's also a way for me to minister.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way for me to be a light. It's a way for me to let my light so shine that men will see me and glorify my Father, see my good works and glorify my Father in heaven. My students ask me a lot of questions. And we'll get into that a little bit. Well, matter of fact, my students are aware of my book. My students, in this generation, these kids are great investigators. Find anything, and they found my book on. I know, right? They found it on Instagram, so they asked me about it, and they asked me about it in a very candid, politically incorrect way, but they wanted to know. And when they asked me, I was able to authentically respond to them. And the biggest thing that I thought was, no matter how Jesus is preached, Jesus is preached. And they'll remember that they've met somebody that has been delivered from homosexuality and that walks in the light of God. They'll remember that. And whether or not I plant it or someone else waters or vice versa, God will get the increase. Paul said, I have become all that I may gain some.
Yeah. A lot of times when you have a story, man, and it's so beautiful, man, that you're able to tell it on this side. And a lot of times to great areas, and we're going to get into that in part 2 of our segment on your book, man. But I wanted people to hear about you. I wanted to hear about your family. I wanted to see what God has done in your life and is doing in your life right now. But a lot of times somebody's in the position that we came out of, or still in a situation, and they don't know how to deal with the situation. When we get into part 2, we're going to talk about my brother's book, Victor Edwards' book. And those who you got to stay tuned to hear his testimony. It's going to bless you. It's life-saving information, and he's going to share with you today. And we are looking forward to having him on Our book channel also on the Pick TV network. Those who are watching, you're watching a Pick TV network special, TV spotlight. And we're spotlighting today Brother Victor Edward. He's on the Pick TV network and also on our social media platforms, sharing information about his story, and his book is coming up. And we're going to share with you that information. And I'm so happy again for all of you who are watching today, those who are watching on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook Live, Marco Polo, YouTube, wherever you're watching this presentation right now. It's not by luck, chance, or coincidence. You tune into the right place at the right time. And the Pick TV network is about four things. That is inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. That's what this network is all about. And this is exactly what we're doing. I met my brother in Clubhouse, man, and I'm so happy, man, you're on our network today. We're going to come back with part 2 right after this.
Don't just watch TV, be on the Pick TV network. Showcase your music, books, talk show, media programs, sell your products, and much more. All on the new Pick TV network. We're on Roku with 24 channels and 43 million users. You can be on Pick TV. Email us at thepicktv.network@gmail.com or call us at 240-423-9820.